because I'm so honored and privileged to be in this room. Look, I have a lot of voices that sustain me, and when I was overseas studying, I had above my desk a quote by a great abolitionist who said, "Urge me not to use moderation in a cause like the present, for I am in earnest. I will not equivocate, I will not hesitate, I will not retreat 1 inch when it comes to a cause, the cause of my people." And this, to me, is the orienting of my life, and I believe should be the orienting of all of us who claim to be Americans, who dare to stand up and pledge oaths and swear loyalty to a flag that really is a banner to other people's glory and other people's sacrifice. We are here because, over the history of this country, this nation conceived in perfect ideals, but in a savagely imperfect reality that did not reflect at all those aspirational tones of our founding fathers and mothers. A nation that put forth such brilliant, glorious conceptions, but even were trapped and imprisoned by the limitations of their time. If you look at our founding documents, Native Americans are referred to as savages, blacks are referred to as fractions of human beings, women are not referred to at all. But yet, something in the very essence of our nation at its founding, the first constitutional democracy in the history of the globe, a nation that was first founded not on a theocracy, not on a monarchy, wasn't founded because everybody looked the same or prayed the same or even spoke the same language. It was founded because we all were rallying around common principles and common ideals. And what makes this nation extraordinary was not the founding moment, because beginnings are important, but not the essential element to success. What needs to happen is, from great beginnings, great actions need to happen. And our story in our country is a story of ordinary Americans being willing to do extraordinary things to make real on the hope and the promise of our democracy, to make it more inclusive, to make it more representational, to make it more truthful and real for every single American. I am in awe. I literally am. And I put around my offices, not pictures of myself. I wouldn't want to do self-flagellation like that. But in my office, I have pictures of others. I have statues on my desk of two of them, of a woman named Harriet Tubman, who I can't even understand, can't even conceive of a person that would escape horrific, almost genocidal hatred and bigotry, only to think to herself, you know what, I'm going to go back down into that mess, and I'm not going to stay up here and write articles and give speeches. I'm actually going to go back down, not once, not 5, not 15, 19 times as the price on my head gets higher, face days without eating, cutting through swamps. I just can't understand that level of courage. I have in front of me a picture, literally with the word courage. It's a poster that hangs in my office, framed right in front of my desk, so I look at it every day, of 3 teenagers. I can't understand this. Kids. It was a picture taken on May 3rd, 1963, in a small southern town called Birmingham, Alabama, when the great leader, the hollowed man who we have a holiday named after, was stumped, didn't know what to do. And these children, thanks to Dorothea Cotton and James Bevel, who just passed away, who rallied kids 8 years old to 18 years old to do what a lot of our Pulitzer Prize-winning authors have called the children's miracle, and join hands and into the swamp backlands of Mississippi to register voters, knowing that they would get killed. I can never evidence that level of courage. I don't know what it's like to be in a boat heading towards a beach in Europe, not on a spring break or a vacation, but storming beaches in Normandy, knowing that you and the hundreds others who were the first to land on that beach will most certainly be mowed down. I do not understand that level of heroism. I do not get it. What I do know is me, Cory Booker, who drinks deeply from wells that I did not dig, that me, a man standing here only because of the love of generations who would never even know my name, I have some obligation to show some measure of courage in my lifetime to advance the ideals that were founded when our country began. That is my calling. That is our challenge. And so what offends me so deeply, and is the shame that my generation will have to bear unless we choose different paths, unless we progress further down, is to have my father, this man who has an incredible sense of humor, funny as can be, who was born in 1936 in the Deep South, who faced vicious segregation, who was born to a single poor mother who could not take care of him, who was raised by a community of caring people, literally taken in by the funeral home operator, given food to eat, raised up, was able to get off to college but couldn't pay for it, so the community pitched in to pay for this young man to go to college. He broke a cycle of poverty in a poor Southern family, made it to New Jersey, and because of the courage of other people, literally other people, we were able to fight against housing segregation. Literally a court case. My father was physically attacked. His lawyer by a real estate agent, my father by a dog, fought to move my family into a small town in northern New Jersey. And he got his kids into a great public school. Now, it's offensive to me to have my dad sit with me where I was living years ago in some high-rise public housing projects, and to sit there after a powerful life, a testimony to a man who lived to sacrifice, involved in the civil rights movement, stood up against segregation. We must live our lives of sacrifice, or we will turn over to our children and our children's children a nation that is a shallow reflection of the greatness of its ancestry. And so to me, I have to be honest with you. I was elected in 1998, and I was overcome with the challenges. My first year in office was one of the most difficult I've ever had. And I began to think, why was I in politics?